Hi folks, Andreas Metzen here from Capo Momentum Advisory. Today I wanted to do a video again on Metaverse and talk about a bunch of things around the Metaverse. Let me pull up the screen here. That's my topic today. Is the Metaverse a waste of money and time, or is it the future? There's a lot of criticism has been going around on Meta, for example, formerly known as Facebook, about spending so much capital on creating Mark Zuckerberg's vision of what a metaverse could look like. There's other products, I will call them, out there, like Sandbox or the Sandbox, Axie Infinity, Decentraland, for example, which also have metaverse products available. I wanted to do a round view on those and give you my take on the current status and if the criticism is in order or if it's a little bit over the top, maybe. We'll see, we'll find out. Stay with me here, lots of things to cover. I'm doing this format of a live video because I think it's more organic to create these things like this, and I will probably I will try to make shorts of this so it's more digestible in the end, but use this long live video as a basis for shorts then later. So if you don't like following along the long live feed that I have here, look out for shorts video I will create based off from this that might be easier to digest. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss up on the shorts and any of the other content I create. So let's get right into it and let's discuss the metaverse. I've had other videos on this before, and I want to start with Mark Zuckerberg. Famously, I would have to say, and I'm using a video here that CNET posted. I want to play a bit on Mark Zuckerberg's view and vision that he had announced a while ago. I guess it's probably around a year ago now. There's been some heavy criticism around this, but let's start with Mark Zuckerberg's view on what his metaverse would look like. And I will start and stop the video here, comment on it myself a little bit, and maybe fast forward some of the items that he has in here. So let's listen to the vision here from Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook, or Meta as it's called now a long time, which he announces here in this video.
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do. To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
So you saw that he integrates all the brands that Facebook had acquired, Instagram and so forth, WhatsApp, and now calls it Meta. I like this new name. It's a great pick, I think, given the digital trend and that where it goes. Maybe also with this, a lot of expectations come along, and I'll talk about that in a moment.
Our mission remains the same. It's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands, they're not changing either. And we are still the company that designs technology around people.
Doesn't make sense. He says the apps and the thing, that stays the same, while actually, in some ways, you expect something to grow out of this, and maybe the apps upgrade and have some features of the new Meta or whatever that is supposed to mean.
Hey, and welcome to Connect. Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse, starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people. Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space.
Bear with me just a second. I want to change some settings here, and apologies for the technology glitch here. I see that I have something of my background showing up in the video, and I just don't like this. It's not aesthetic to me. So bear with me here a second. I'm just going to adjust the camera here and do a little more cropping and move myself down then. move myself down, which would also go for this. This is better now. I think it is. So apologies for this. So Mark Zuckerberg here shows, a view, and already in this video where he starts off, you have this almost realistic graphics here, and that's one of the big criticisms I would have. The real graphics have not come up to this level, while in the gaming industry, they are quite naturally there already. If you look at the shoot 'em up games like Call of Duty, or if you have the new Grand Theft Auto, it has great graphics. So anyway, let's continue watching here.
It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually. And it has an incredibly inspiring view of whatever you find most beautiful.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear.
I'll stop it right here. This graphic here, or this avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, it's cute, but, why wouldn't it be really realistic? 3D scanning's around. Go ahead and check out my 3D scanning and printing video I have online on my channel. And, with that, you can scan yourself easily. You can do it with a Microsoft Xbox camera, for example. Or with products out there, they could do this where, they would sell a product, you would have an avatar that looks exactly like you're in reality. And here they have this, I will call it goofy looking, comic-like avatar. But in any case, pretty cute already. Graphics in the background, of course, full reality, looks real, more or less.
All right.
It's cute to play around with, different blows, in this case for the avatar. You can do lots of things with avatars then, and, like I said, only things that are possible in the virtual reality. If that's going to make the difference, I don't know. That's a nice gimmick, but that's not the big case for a metaverse.
Perfect.
Boy.
Oh, hey, Mark. Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Mark. What's up, Mark?
Whoa, we're floating in space?
Uh-huh.
Who made this place? It's awesome.
Right? It's from a creator I met in LA.
This place is amazing.
Now here's already, this is supposed to be a work meeting, I assume, and that's already like you have gamified topics in here, where you are actually in a virtual reality that gives you entertainment through what it looks like, so to say, and it's a gaming, topic going on. And by the way, they're also playing cards here in a virtual reality. Yeah,
Boss,
anyway.
Is that you?
Of course it's me. I had to be the robot, man.
I thought I was supposed to be the robot.
Whoa.
I knew you were bluffing.
Hey, wait. Where is Naomi?
Let's call her.
Naomi.
Hey, should we deal you in?
Sorry, I'm running late, but you've got to see what we're checking out. There's an artist going around Soho hiding AR pieces for people to find.
3D street art? That's cool.
Now that's a cute feature. Somebody could have glasses on. What they see could be then projected into your VR glasses. And by the way, that's the assumption here. What you're seeing here is all if you were virtual reality glasses. So, that would be a nice feature. You're outside, you're making a phone, you have your glasses, your normal glasses, like Google glasses or something on that can have video camera inside, and you can feed that. That's cute. That brings it home in terms of, when you make a call, you're in the environment of the other person. So
Send that link over so we can all look at it. This is stunning.
Okay, that is something.
That's awesome.
I love the movement.
Wait, it's...
yeah, but this is already like, okay, now supposedly you have art here that moves like this. That's, okay, that's maybe advanced further, because that would have to be, somebody, I don't know, you have a QR code there and you can link, and then you can see the graphics online as an piece of art. Yeah, makes sense. Cute.
It's disappearing.
This is amazing.
Hold on, I'll tip the artist and they'll extend it.
Wow. Brilliant.
Privacy and safety need to be built into the metaverse from day one. you'll get to decide when you want to be with other people, when you want to block someone from appearing in your space, or when you want to take a break and teleport to a private bubble to be alone. You're going to be able to bring things from the physical world into the metaverse. Almost any type of media that can be represented digitally, photos, videos, art, music, movies, books, games, you name it.
That's a really very interesting topic about bringing things into the metaverse. And my question would be, well, do I have to pay for that? Or, can I just on my VR classes then watch my Amazon, Netflix, whatever, Disney Channel, Disney Plus? And if I want to have things inside, will I have to pay to have certain experiences? When if I go outside, that's kind of free, or if they do they want to monetize that? If I want to be in this environment that he shows here in the background, do I have to pay for this then in the end to have this experience, to have this premium package or ultra package or something, to have these experiences? I'm afraid there's going to be a lot of monetization about being able to escape into these virtual worlds where you have to pay for things.
Now, lots of things that are physical today, like screens, will just be able to be holograms in the future. You won't need a physical TV, it'll just be a $1 hologram from some high school kid halfway across the world. And you'll be able to take your items and project them into the physical world as holograms in augmented reality too. One part of this is Horizon Home, which is our early vision for a home space in the metaverse. Horizon Home is the first thing that you'll see when you put on your Quest headset. Today, there are already a bunch of options to choose from, and in the future, anyone will be able to create one. We've just called it home until now because it's been missing something very important: people. Soon, we're going to be introducing a social version of home, where you can invite your friends to join you as avatars. You'll be able to hang out, watch videos together, and jump into apps together. Then,
this inclination about you meeting in the virtual world. I mean, I know kids nowadays, and maybe that even also goes for adults. There's a lot of video conferencing going on, and when kids talk, they're on Discord and they're disconnected at home, disconnected physically, but they're at home. And then with this option, they could stay at home, virtual classes, and it's like they're together. I don't like that it takes away this being together physical thing. While I do think this application of being able to do things together in a virtual world has a gaming type of experience in a way, and that's why I think it will also flow once it's available.
There is Horizon Worlds, which is where you can build worlds and jump into them.
Horizon Worlds, interestingly enough, that's when I will show you like Sandbox, Decentraland. Those are like these worlds where other people, where developers / creators can create worlds. Minecraft would be a perfect example for this. You create this world and then people can jump into it. That's going to be a big thing about if, first of all, it's going to be successful, because this will be interesting if you have an interesting experience, and because this is going to be like potentially unlimited experiences. The big thing about this is how real will those worlds be. You see in the background, it has not pixelized graphics, like Sandbox is very pixel-like, very simple graphics. So it really looks better. It's all going to come down to, are you going to get the world to be able to create? And with this, you need tools where you can create these worlds without developing, programming things. That's going to be a challenge going forward, where technology has to be made available in terms of creating things where it's like out of the box, you can create things and make interesting experiences, so to say.
With people. Horizon is designed to make it possible for everyone to create, and we're already seeing people build some really interesting experiences, from creating new games together to throwing surprise parties in VR that...
Now, I will stop it here. If I see these graphics, that's cute. I don't understand why they're not pushing, or at least highlighting, the possibility for the future where the graphics become more real. There's just too much games available where the graphics are just way more real. This is already pretty good, but you just have to come out of the can with a, or at least hint there will be something that's real-like. I can play games now where it's like, I feel like I'm there. If I can get these games on a VR, then it's going to feel like they're real. And we can show some of this, or I can show some of this later. I mean, what I mean, because it's just not enough, for a, and maybe we're certainly to take some steps, and that's also, if I go into the criticism about what Meta is doing, how much money they're spending, it does take a lot of creating a platform first to create later based on top of it. But you also have to think about, well, I have these avatars now and so forth. How can I upgrade this stuff later then to become more real? If I don't transport this into, or it's going to stay like this, and then I'll have another version that will come later, and then maybe there's some portability, across the platforms. I think that's really important. Also, with all the things you can buy, like NFTs, so non-fungible tokens where you own, your clothes as an NFT, for example. And they look, because your avatar is got comic figure like, they look like this, and later you want to be, it'll be maybe in a world that looks real. Then what? Then you have to, this NFT is unique and like this, and then it has to be ported. I find this, and I'm just noticing, I find this just too weak to finish the sentence. And if I see here not actual product images, it says on the bottom here, it's not even there yet. It's just like prototypes that they have
Family and
created.
friends around the world can join. Over the last year and a half, a lot of us who work in offices have gone remote. And while I miss seeing the people I work with, I think remote work is here to stay for a lot of people. So we're going to need better tools to work together. Let's take a look at what working in the metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of
Now here's already forecasting into the future. The guy is not even putting on VR glasses. Now this is all hologram technology, which, by the way, is an interesting topic to get into. I have not researched much on this. How far are we with, projecting holograms? He talked about it earlier. If you don't have holograms, then you need VR glasses. And if you have, these holograms, then you can just project it into the room. Now, I don't think that's where they're at yet at all. And they just released their new VR glasses, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But, of course, like this, and if you could project like all around you holograms, then you could make the environment look like you're in the office space, so to say. And it's also about, then you would have cameras, have to have cameras that track your movement and videotape you. Because then you could make it real, where you just take the person out like you do in Zoom, change the background around, but you as a character or a figure could stay inside of this
presence,
experience.
shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day, all accessible from anywhere. Now imagine that you have your perfect work setup, and you can actually do more than you could in your regular work setup. And on top of all that, you can keep wearing your favorite sweatpants. And as we've focused more on work, and frankly, as we've heard your feedback more broadly, we're working on making it so you can log into Quest with an account other than your personal Facebook account. We're starting to test support for work accounts soon, and we're working on making a broader shift here within the next year. I know this is a big deal for a lot of people. Not everyone wants their social media profile linked to all these other experiences, and I get that, especially as the metaverse expands.
I mean, if they had to separate this out later, then that's a goof up, in my opinion. If you didn't have the separation about this is a work account and this is not a work account, and I have a work account now, and I'm meeting with people in the work account, and other people cannot see other things. Of course, when they do an implementation in a company, that should be clearly separated. I mean, it's if they had to, hear the voice, then that's a bit of a late game changer.
And I'll share more about that later. But I'm genuinely optimistic about work in the metaverse. We know from the last couple of years that a lot of people can effectively work from anywhere. But hybrid is going to be a lot more complex, when some people are together and others are still remote. So giving everyone the tools to be present, no matter where they are, whether as a hologram sitting next to you in a physical meeting or in a discussion taking place in the metaverse, that's going to be a game changer.
The thing is, that's going to be the game changer. But it's you have to have a finished product that has all these things before it becomes a game changer. I can dial in Zoom, and that's the competition, so to say, Cisco WebEx and so forth, and everything that's there, like in video conferences. And that's already, I'm there with the other person in the room. Okay, it's flat, it's not 3D and so forth, but I'm there. I can see the facial expressions fairly well. And if you want to upgrade from this, you have to, of course, it's a development phase, so to say, to get there, but you have to, get going. Particularly, and that's what I find. And I haven't looked at it. I'm kind of will look at you with you guys here on this in the channel here, live, what they actually have produced. But for what have I seen, it's still very rudimentary, and you have some features, and of course, there's collaboration features you can put in, where you make files and data available and so forth, and maybe even work environments and so forth. But this meeting in a room kind of feeling, you have to have this, if you have holograms come back to me, if you have VR classes where I can have a sense of that I'm actually in there and have a meeting, that will be a game changer in the sense of that this virtual teams environment that companies have where teams now have been working together, in virtual teams for a long, long time, but they have this disconnect, because they're not physically together. If you can change that, they can go into the VR and then into this metaverse, VR world, and then collaborate together. And you don't need to be in the office, that does change things, in terms of working together, and also in terms of money for companies, because they don't have to spend the office space, so to say, and that will change things where you don't have to go into a skyscraper or whatever to, to be in the office, so to say, and be able to be home. So yes, but please, if you have it, give me a finished product that has all these rich new features and not just parts of it where the jump over maybe doesn't make sense yet.
I think this could be very positive for our society and economy. Giving people access to jobs in more places, no matter where they live, will be a big deal for spreading opportunity to more people. Dropping our daily commutes will mean less time stuck in traffic and more time doing things that matter. And it'll be good for the environment. We plan to continue to either subsidize our devices or sell them at cost to make them available to more people. We'll continue supporting
the new VR classes cost $1,500, and I looked at them in Amazon France. They were 1,800 euros. So thanks for subsidizing. If this is at cost and you produce the product, that's way too expensive. Of course, development cost is inside of it, but it's not even close to competition. Not competitive. I mean, it's not competitive price, to put on. If it cost 500, like an Xbox or so forth, I would, people might be inclined, but to pay $1,500 just to have it, you're talking, high-end users only.
Sideloading and linking to PCs, so consumers and developers have choice, rather than forcing them to use the Quest store to find apps or reach customers. And we'll aim to offer developer and creator services with low fees in as many cases as possible, so we can maximize the overall creator economy, while recognizing that to keep investing in this future, we'll need to keep some fees higher for some period to make sure that we don't lose too much money on this program overall. After all, while a growing number of
and if you look at the quarter's earning report, and we'll get into this in a moment here, they have lost tons of money, or they spend tons of money, and waiting to see, but before Meta one day will actually see money coming in. I mean, Facebook is rich, so to say. They have lots of capital and income, but in an economy that's in a downturn, and on top of this is huge investments, this may take a while. They may be hugely successful in the end. I might repeat myself in the video about this here, but right now it's, they're spending a lot of money, and I'm not sure if I see the results that will make the turnaround for people to be super excited about it.
Developers are already profitable. We expect to invest many billions of dollars for years to come before the metaverse reaches scale. Today, we're introducing the present.
They definitely are spending billions with a B, in German Milliarden, to make this work, or to enhance this. And what's funny is, I don't see much of it popping up on my radar, and that's where I think they're making a mistake. I've not seen even on Facebook ads for their products, and I don't know why. I've not seen one. They do advertising for everybody else, but I don't see not one ad pop up about the virtual reality classes or their products at all. So I think they're not getting getting to the consumers enough. Respectively, maybe they do that on the company level where they try to make bigger deals, like with Microsoft and Accenture and so forth. But for John Doe and Jane Doe, I'd like to see them push their ideas, and just to give them an idea for a mark here, just throw out a game that's exciting. Make a Call of Duty that has VR classes. And I know they have a game like this. Make it a game that's not violent, that where you have these virtual experiences that are possible. That will be super successful, and make your products more affordable.
Platform, which is a broad range of machine perception and AI capabilities that empower developers to build mixed reality experiences on Quest 2. You want to tell us more about the Presence platform?
Yeah, we've said before that realistic presence is the key to feeling connected in the metaverse. And the Presence platform's capabilities are what's going to deliver on that promise. Things like environmental understanding, content placement and persistence, voice interaction, standardized hand interactions. In fact, let's start with hands. I mean, the human hand is an engineering marvel. And bringing hands into VR was no easy feat. It required a lot of collaboration against product, design, research, but we continue to improve that product, finding new ways to navigate with gestures and interact with VR. So today, we're introducing the Interaction SDK, a library of modular components that will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
That's pretty exciting.
That's what I meant,
But next year,
about having the SDK, means software development kit, actually, where creators can use hands now. That was the example here. Can use hands and make them available in their app. Now this may seem rudimentary, but this is real hands that are videotaped, I assume, from the VR classes, and then the objects inside this virtual world can then be interacted with. That is different than if I play. Sorry if I keep bringing up Call of Duty, for example. And I see my hands, but I don't really use them because I don't have any nunchucks or something, that actually create commands for things. Now, there is a lot of development to be done. And I would claim if they can create this knowledge and complete it to the point of where they have these components to make these worlds, Facebook will be leading again in the space. I don't see any other companies that are there. I would claim that gaming companies could reach that level if they were change or partner with them. Because if you can create, if you can create a real world and even maybe scanned where you have real experiences and have the, and can show it on either holograms respectively or on VR classes, this will be huge. I mean, an out of the ballpark huge home run to have. So, they're still talking here about interaction SDK, software development kits. I as a user don't care about this stuff. Me as a being into tech a bit, I like this. I'd like to check it out and see what I can create. But as the user in the end, and as investors, spending the money, it's like you keep creating. So, show me the money. Show me the money coming back in these experiences, or show me the path of where this will come back in. And I don't know if they have been doing a good job of, while they're create something that has exciting use cases.
That will make it easy to add hand interactions to your apps.
That's pretty exciting.
But next year, we are releasing a new product that will push the boundaries of VR even further. We've codenamed it Project Cambria.
So this isn't the next Quest. It's going to be compatible with Quest, but Cambria will be a completely new, advanced, and high-end product, and it'll be at the higher end of the price spectrum too. Our plan here is to keep building out this product line to release our most advanced technology before we can hit the price points that we target with Quest. All right, so let's talk.
This is the politically correct explanation for why the new VR set Pro is costing $1,500. And I understand Tesla was not cheap in the beginning as well, and that you need consumers then that can afford it, and they have cost creating this. So let's hear them out here.
Talk about some of the new advances here.
Yeah, sure. There's a ton of new tech going into Cambria. For example, your avatar will be able to make natural eye contact and reflect your facial expressions.
And again, I'm like, Wow. Sarcastically, so sorry. Ooh, my avatar can make expressions that I make. You can do this today with filters. I'm not sure if they're, sorry to jump in so quickly with the judgment here, but if I look at this, if the picture on the left would be my depiction in the VR, I would be like, great, finally, just have my VR, have my real face in there, and the VR technology recognizing my facial expression, so to say, to use for commands, or or give hints, like for handicapped that can't see, that then turns this expression into text or audio, for example.
In real time. This way, people you're interacting with will have a real sense of how you're actually feeling.
That's a joke. I'm sorry. It makes me giggle. It just, if I sit in front just in Zoom and they would just project the real picture, the real video feed of me into this world, that would be not enough. I don't know. You're losing me.
It does mean building more sensors into a form factor that's comfortable to wear for a while. And because we want VR to be for everyone, we also have to make sure avatars represent a diverse set of human facial features and skin tones, as well.
Now that's where I think they go wrong. Why do I need to translate my facial expressions? And by the way, when I do that, that's a translation. Yeah. I think the face is more simple, and I'm sure they go study into this and they make all kinds of adjustments to make it, to pick up on all the nuances and, slight differences. But why the heck would I have to translate my facial expressions? So if I can just take, just like I am now, use my face as it is and just project that inside there, because what happens if you go full not virtual reality, but full reality view? I don't need this anymore. I don't need this translation into an avatar anymore. You can have this if you wanted to, project myself into even games or something. I just don't get it. It's just not a waste of time. It's cute to have this, that you can have this interaction. But, like the scene they're just showing here where they're, sitting in the meeting here, I don't need this. I don't need this translation. Just project myself into this world and be done with it already.
Make sure avatars represent a diverse set of human facial features.
And by the way, I think one of the challenges here is just the capacity of the processing capacity may not be there. It would be interesting to talk to somebody with no more knowledge on what kind of processing capabilities you need. But from all my little technology background that I have and what I'm doing now here on YouTube, just take me inside, and why don't we look at 3D scanning cameras to become that effective that I have 4 or 5 cameras like this in my room to capture me from every corner, and then that can be projected inside this quote unquote virtual reality environment where I just become real. And I mean, what's the problem? Why do I need to have this funky avatar that needs to translate, that needs to be fed my facial expressions? Sorry for a long rant here. I don't get that.
And skin tones, as well as
skin tones. Come on, in a virtual world where I can be a robot.
Paying attention to things like
cute
glasses and beers that may get in the way of some of the sensors.
So that's going to be a big step forward for social presence, and I'm really glad that we're focused on making it inclusive from the start. Now, what about unlocking more mixed reality experiences? I mean, imagine working at your virtual desk with multiple screens while seeing your real desk so clearly that you can pick up a pen and write notes without taking your headset off. Or you're doing a workout with a virtual instructor in your living room.
It's going to be so cool. We're already seeing the potentials of these kinds of experiences today as people are building for our pass-through API. But with Cambria, we'll be taking this to the next level with high-resolution, colored, mixed reality pass-through. We essentially combine an array of sensors with reconstruction algorithms to represent your physical world in the headset with a sense of depth and perspective.
But the ultimate goal here is true augmented reality glasses, and we've been working on that too. And today, I want to show you an experience that we've been working on for Project Nazare, which is the codename for our first full augmented reality glasses. Here, you'll see you're chatting with friends on WhatsApp and planning a game night. You can select a game, and then, as you walk over to your kitchen, you can easily just put your game onto the table and you're off.
What kind of example is this? I assume full augmented reality is that I have a VR set on here now, I'm guessing. He doesn't explain. And then I have these, I have my WhatsApp in my VR classes that by hand gestures I can probably control. And what is this game here? Come on.
That's the kind of experience that augmented reality will unlock. There's a lot of technical work.
That was a really weak example. I'm sorry. Give me why don't they pick like low-hanging fruit? Click, I can use Google Earth graphics and I am wherever I want to be in the world, down from the Eiffel Tower to Grand Canyon and whatnot, and then just dive into this. This alone would be a better case than this, And if you talk games, what the heck was this as a game? Does he understand what games people are playing nowadays?
Work to get this form factor and experience right.
And by the way, adults, because he's not, he's keep bringing up adults and not kids who are playing the most.
We have to fit hologram displays, projectors, batteries, radios,
hologram displays. That's something I'm widely curious now about. Is how far they are there. Now that's a big thing. If you can project something inside the room, that's massive, because you could create like. I could think of, creating a room where, just like Star Trek, you have a room with holograms and where you just have space, in there. And then you could have experiences, whatever they may be, inside this, be it, collaboration for work, like you step in your room and then, it creates the work environment for you. And the room's actually bare. Inside it doesn't have anything. Everything's augmented and hologrammed. I'm wildly interested in that, taking this as a main thing from potential positive from this video.
Custom silicon chips, cameras, speakers, sensors to map the world around you, and more into glasses that are about 5 millimeters thick. So we still have a ways to go with Nazare. But
yeah, and I guess the holograms then are actually not holograms, but glasses. So you have your glasses and it displays inside the glass, and then, your eyes pick it up, and then you have this the sense of a hologram.
We're making good progress.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you this as a intro into what it could look like, so to say. And if you want to get a good feeling for what the metaverse could be like, go ahead and, if you haven't seen the video of the movie yet, Ready Player One, I show it here. It's available. Look at the trailers. It has this. Many of the things are actually not science fiction anymore, like these pods where you can stand inside. I'm trying to see if I can find it real quick. Apologies here. Yeah, these are sitting pods that they show here. I was talking more like these thingy-majigs here. Where you. And that's not even the one I wanted to show, because this doesn't have any pad on the bottom. So you have pods available, and I had contacted a Chinese company. Let me scroll down here. This is actually to sit in. VR gaming pod. See if I can cough it up here. I have to come back to you on this here. I can't. There's one like this over here, for example. Where you stand, you actually have a floor. You kind of either, in this case, you're captured by left and right, arms that you can't fall out, but you have the floor here moves. So when you move on the floor, it moves with you. Those are the types I'm looking for, because that's what Ready Player One has, the movie inside. The whole virtual experience is real or close to real, with mixed reality, so to say, inside. It also talks about the social impacts of it. The movie is science fiction, and at the same time covering in a way what's potentially already possible with the things currently available. So go ahead and check it out. It gives a good perspective of what the metaverse could look like. So I talked a lot about Meta, and I want to talk about Meta in terms of financials and the impact of this. You see a company that has a lot of money and spend a lot of money. There's been huge criticism across the board. I think across the board. I've not seen too many positive news articles. And the stock yesterday dropped 5%. and then the pre-market is down almost 20%. So let's go here on Meta's chart for the heck of it, a little bit financial, not financial advice. So if you look at the chart of Meta, the company has suffered hugely. If you look at the company stock, was just below 400, so $380. Now it's 104. That's a 70, a drop to 30% of the value only anymore. In terms of market value, that's a lot of money burned. Some of it is because times have been changing, and I think it was more difficult for advertisement. We could read the earnings report. I know they have invested and bought some stuff, and you heard Mark Zuckerberg, they're going to spend billions. Now you have to be aware, if I scoop in here, to 2012, that's 10 years. If you project down it, that is a tough hit for Facebook in terms of stock value. Now, for the fun of it, we'll look at Microsoft, not per se, or not really a metaverse player so much. Actually, that remains to be seen, and it's a different company anyway to begin with. Their stock had similar values. If you look at it, 342, not that far off. They have not suffered as much, but it's anyway a different platform, and that's for the fun of it because it's one of the big tech companies. Look at Amazon; their stock has also suffered, and if you look here, at 185 to 115, roughly speaking, you see the market is not. I think they were actually overvalued, with COVID and so forth. These stocks have shut up, particularly Amazon, because they were able to deliver. But it was a bit of a bubble, and that's a natural correction. But going back to Facebook and Meta platforms, actually, that's what the stock is called. If you look at their loss of value, that's massive. That's a third of the value, and it's a tough sale for investors. And I think they probably will have to adjust, but Mark Zuckerberg could also care less in a way, as long as the money's still flowing in, and they might lose some money now. At one point, it could be a problem. I think it's starting to be a problem, because if you look at this valuation, there is value behind the product that Facebook has. This may be a good time to buy Facebook. This is not financial advice. If you look at this chart and believe that they will turn around, you may have a stock that will explode. If they can create something that actually sells, then it becomes interesting. This was Facebook / Meta, actually. Meta, I should call it. I wanted to jump back a little bit and move away from Meta and go into the Metaverse types, so to say. If you go to, and I'm using here CoinMarketCap, and for the viewers here that are not familiar with crypto and so forth, CoinMarketCap is a website that you can look at cryptocurrencies. I'll go to the main page here quickly just to show you. So it captures, for example, on the main page, cryptocurrencies by market cap, so by the value of the coins that are in circulation, so to say, and the prices, and you see the Bitcoins, Ethereums, and the stable coins here, Ripple, and so forth. And with this, or with CoinMarketCap on the side, you can also, they list cryptocurrency stuff. I would call it also by type. So there's a Metaverse listing of coins, cryptocurrency, or crypto technology listed by market cap. And then there we can also find a couple of Metaverse, what should I call it, solution products, and I want to show some of these now and go into some of these. I'm thinking I may capture the ones that I don't consider Metaverse per se. So like ApeCoin, most of you probably have heard about the board apes, NFTs. So this is, let's just pull it up here. Board apes. Board Apes Yacht Club collection. Yeah, let's go here. So this is actually where this came from. Can I enter here without having an NFT? And you've seen these pictures of these apes, bored apes, and it's always an ape, has different features, and they've created these pictures electronic pictures and sold them online based on as an NFT, so a non-fungible token. It's like a token of ownership on a blockchain, and they've been widely successful. Now, this is also supposed to be a community slash metaverse. If you go to their website here, ApeCoin.com, yeah, it looks nothing like a metaverse and so forth. This is actually the ApeCoin. And what I showed you here, the yacht club, is actually the, I'm trying to fish for quickly proposals. Yeah, never mind. Let's not go there. It's all about this Ape Board Yacht Club where you own these tokens and it gives you something. And initially it's mainly, other NFTs or so forth, or being able to meet other people in the community. I'm trying to fish for what it's good for. I think if I would judge it from the outside, other than having found or created a trend where people like the pictures and like to have it as, avatars for, websites where you can then use this and say, I own it, and they've created a market where people like it, wildly successful, created quote unquote art that people like, and it's popular, yes, but it's not a metaverse that of any sort that I would call. It's community that they create, fine. Doesn't have anything 3D that you can jump into, nothing like that. So I wanted to touch on ApeCoin here because it's, in terms of market cap, it's with 1.5 billion roughly. On top, Internet Computer ICP, I fished for it over here. It's actually coming from the Infinity Foundation. And, they seem to have a lot of developers working on this area, and I found here under the big logo of Web3 stuff built onto internet computers. So this is a cryptocurrency, crypto technology where things are getting developed on, and here you can see some of these topics. So wallet would be a place where you can store cryptocurrencies, infrastructure, NFTs, authentication. If you see here, if Metaverse, it says here on the bottom, so let's see what they have. Now, this is something programmed on top. This is a gallery where you can walk through. Yeah, GameFi. By the way, the word GameFi we can maybe introduce here. A lot of these technologies or Metaverse stuff has a tendency now, I would call it no more Metaverse, I would call it GameFi. It's a term that has come up recently. So like the Sandbox, to me, is no longer Metaverse per se. Maybe part of the Metaverse aspect, but it's just a game, and then you can see if you like it or not. So here's some stuff on the internet, computer protocol that are NFT studios where, 3D NFTs. Now that's interesting. Meta Sports Basketball is an open basketball metaverse. I'm not sure if you go inside, you'd have to check this out if this is, how do you play it, so to say. Poke Studio bots, a collection of 10,000 unique bots designed by Acclaimed Digital Arts. Okay, you have already the art aspect in here. Yeah, I'm just going to scroll down. That's a marketplace for NFTs. Yeah, so this is kind of NFT. So this one is as close as I would say to a metaverse where it's like 3D blending. Now, can I go here? That's what the fun. Go to this gallery because this is based on it. I can access. Oh, that's funny. Oh, actually, not funny. Let's see if we can search for it. If I can find it like this. It's even up. Here's the website is down. So okay, so that's all right. I don't like this. Lost me. Not going to dig it further. So there's some technologies. Reason I want to get those out of the way because they're not anything. There's nothing tangible yet. So much stuff is growing. You have to understand on the a lot of the meta stuff, metaverse stuff. I'm sorry, is actually in the crypto cryptocurrency, crypto development world. There are huge amounts of efforts being spent by developers and companies and organizations in this area, a lot. It's part of the fourth industrial revolution as far as I'm concerned. I'm not sure about industrial, but anyway, a revolution in terms of technology, digitization. And there's lots of it happening there that people don't see yet. And they, keep hearing Bitcoin. They keep hearing how volatile Bitcoin price is. Maybe you have heard of Ethereum. Maybe you have not. Maybe you have understood what actually is, what all kinds of developments are happening on top of the Ethereum blockchain. There's lots of development going on, and not so visible yet because people don't care about the technology. Some of the results are visible. So let's go to Sandbox again. I'll just pick on Sandbox here for the fun of it. I think I won't start the game this time. Sandbox.game. They have their third season, as they call it. If you go to sandbox.game, you can go check it out. I do have a user. I participate in season 1 and 2. So this is, very simply put, I would call it gamify. I would not call it metaverse, to be honest. The experiences on top. So when you press play here, you see the world, so to say. So to keep it simple, the Sandbox world is based on digital land that you can also buy. And which is way too expensive if you wanted to do your own little, if you wanted to create and you have to buy a property for like, 5,000 euros or dollars, whatever. I think it's just way too expensive. These newly created virtual land aspects costing so much money. I think it's, I think they're doing it wrong in terms of pricing. Anyway, you have this virtual world that they develop experiences on. It's built on a platform called Unity that also many of the games are based on. The graphics are, you see like my avatar over here, it's pixely, even worse than what we've just seen with Meta. And then you have these games / experiences inside, and they're just very rudimentary. Go ahead and check out my Metaverse video. I'm inside the game in one of the live feeds there, and I started to create some shorts from that long live feed. And it gives you a feeling for the graphics. It's really simple. I would say the experiences are weak. The gaming experience is weak for people who actually play computer games or games. It's just boring. They keep people inside their experiences by interacting like in 1990 kind of experiences of you have to go to a figure and there's actually text, there's no audio. The things your avatar can do is, basic jump and run stuff, up, down, climb the ladder, and that even doesn't work so well in the game seamlessly. And then you collect stuff and you have to solve, things like in a role-playing game of the 1990s. But the experience is weak. The graphics are, given this pixel-like graphic, it's okay. And that's already being nice. I would overall say it's weak. I don't see Sandbox. It's growing. You can see also some of their partners. There's Smurfs, Atari. The board Ape Yacht Club is also present here. There's a lot of Avenged Sevenfold, Walking Dead is here, South China Morning Post, funnily enough, is there. But the experiences like Snoop Dogg is big. He's been there from, I think, the first season already. But, you can see him over here, Snoop Dogg's foreplay, okay. What I find weak, if I could go into the experience and I would get, a special video clip, just in this environment of Snoop Dogg or music that is only available there, that you get here as an NFT in the world, then I would be like, yeah, that's great. But there's just like, they have a Snoop Dogg character in scene, and it's based on him, but there's, you can buy stuff, he wants to monetize, of course. You can buy Snoop Dogg NFTs for a nice, chunk of money. And I'll go into this and also name this. Maybe we'll do Snoop Doggy. And just do Snoop, that should be enough. And you see that these in these metaverses and this GameFi world here, you see that the stuff just costs way too much. There's the V8 Vado Snoop whatever car, that you can buy as an NFT, and it costs $112. And I'm like, sorry, whom is this for? The creators that are in there, they could create this by themselves, respectively. If I want to play there, Sandbox, by the way, is for 18 and older. So people who are not 18 cannot participate in the raffles and winning stuff. But generally, you should be 18, so they're not targeting younger folks, teens and so forth. And then, if I'm like, why would I buy this Snoop Dogg card to be and because I can't even use it. An avatar, I could see, like if I buy this bodyguard, then and I could use it, and I'm not even sure if that's possible, but if I could use it as an avatar, okay, fine, then maybe it's interesting for this type of money. So point being, a lot of monetization going on, where if I wanted to create in this world, I could buy the Snoop Dogg logo officially, and then it cost me $3.16 right now, and I could use it in, when I create, but I find it the monetization to be too early, too much money. If I had to do it, I would avoid this these huge costs that come with it for consumers at this point. While I understand that in games a lot of in-game sales going on, but then this is for like equipment, how I look and so forth, and it kind of makes more sense. But in any case. So the Sandbox, check out my video. It's a GameFi, as far as I'm concerned. It's not you see the graphics here. I mean, sorry, this is like 1990s. It's just too weak. The platform that they're based on would actually offer other stuff. It's easier to get, maybe that's what I was talking about earlier, to get developers in, creators in who can create, because there's applications that they have like Voxel Edit and other applications where you can create these graphics, these 3D graphics based on these blocks, and it's maybe easier because it doesn't have the VR or the virtual or the 3D creation of things in there. I just find it's weak. The experiences are weak in terms of visual. I tried to create something. The applications that are using are not performing well on to create things. They're slow, and if you start putting graphics inside, I tried to put real pictures inside where there was a possibility in that, and the whole program just crashed under me. And the features, it's just poor. Up, down, left, right, jump, crawl on the floor, and then in terms of gaming stuff, you can have a sword and poke around. You can't throw anything, shoot anything. You can't, you cannot do much. It's just very weak in terms of its richness. Is actually poorness in terms of features that the environment has. Sorry, the Sandbox, but after 3 seasons, that's my verdict, so to say. And then you have, because I see these experiences where you have to climb and jump really precise and so forth, up somewhere and so forth, and land on one single block and so forth. It's just jump and run games, and it's just I don't know, the experiences are still weak as far as I'm concerned, too weak. Now, that was me busting the Sandbox. I wanted to show Decentraland. Now, Decentraland, on their website, if you see it popping up here, it looks more like what Facebook was showing. Now, I think I will do a separate video on actually showing Decentraland inside, because I do have a user down there. I might click the download button here, so that's already running in the background. Assuming it's actually running. We can do an open in the browser. that would work. And let's hope that I have my profile here available. Well, let's just play as a guest. So you see already it starts it's throwing crypto technology stuff at you. You know, play using your wallet. If you have no idea, you're like, what wallet? My wallet from my pocket? You know, no, I don't want you to have my wallet. This is crypto wallet, so a place to store your digital currency, so to say. You can connect to this because you can have in-game purchases, so to say, based on mana. Let's go back here quickly. So you have Decentraland token. It's called mana for short. It's currently worth about $64. And you see, it's do a graphic here. It used to be, let's do all. Had a peak of over $5, and you see also the volatility and price for these tokens. You know, because this is kind of the peak from the last crypto cycle. We're now in a bull market. There's been a big downtrend in the crypto market, and you see the volatility. So there's lots of gain for the upside if you're actually trading this. And so you can lose your money real quick if you invest in the wrong time. So if you were, building stuff or buying stuff on you have to be aware of this in this Decentraland world, based on mana, and mana costed $5, and all of a sudden it's only 60 cents. Things drop in value. At 1/10. That's dramatic stuff, and it's one of the problems I think with this technology, where these tokens are actually traded, and you have this crypto cycle volatility inside the tokens. Doesn't help. Long term, midterm, of course, you could also make money off from the volatility of the token. Volatility can also be positive, but in any case. So let's play as a guest here, see what it does. Oh, I have to get ready here. I'm not ready to. Well, we'll do it together. Bear with me here. So this will load. I haven't done this for a long time. I haven't looked into Decentraland for a long time. First thing I will do is potentially find the music. Well, I can't do this right now, so you can do an avatar here. So let's make this short and sweet. Skin tone, oh my god, okay. Head, where's my haircut? Looking quickly. Let's just pick this one for the fun of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, fine. Color. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. So eyebrows, eyes. Let's just. Eye color. This is already wasting time here. Shoes. You see. Okay. So to explain, you get a feeling for now. This is just like what in the meta video. You can create your own avatar now. And of course you see it by my behavior. I'm trying to imitate myself here. I could also go, full scale. Let's do something funny here.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at the bottom piece of it. Let's just see, and you see the okay, some of the variables are not compatible with what I've already picked. Oh god.
Fancy.
Not fancy. Do you have blue jeans? Oh god. Yeah, okay.
Whoa.
I'm already not liking this. Yeah, okay. So accessories. Yeah, you can see what you can do here. Top. What am I wearing here? Let's be crazy. God, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
That's more like it. Okay, let's just run around like this for the fun of it. So let's call this avatar like this. You have to agree to terms and policy. I would tell you to kind of cross-read this stuff, so you know what you're dealing with when you go inside. Particularly if you were to create later, you have to, I believe, The good thing is here that like Sandbox doesn't have, you cannot start Sandbox from the web browser. Already, to me, a big plus here, and I'll go into full screen for Decentraland. If they're actually able to download the client, the app on your laptop on the go in the browser, that's already big. That's Sandbox is far away from this. You have to download a client that's really fat, and then even then it's not super stable all the time. So anyway, it's downloading still first, so it does take time. If you compare this to games, when games are actually installed, it does take some time for games also to load the scenes and so forth respectively. So I'm sure it's downloading quite a bit of content here or files in the background. Let's see how long this takes. I know, maybe to fill the gap here, I've joined a cryptocurrency conference virtual online. That was hosted by the Frankfurt Business School, and they had E&Y there, one of the big companies. And they talked about Decentraland and how they have a place there where they actually have virtual meetings for new employees when they meet, and give them their, welcome tour, so to say, and they actually meet in this environment. He showed some pictures and so forth. Now, these are use cases where I find they're useful. Like in the companies, if you have this and you have 50 employees that have just joined the company recently, then it makes sense to be able to have them in this virtual environment, so to say, and participate then together. Sorry, I was just adjusting something because I saw that I still have this dash here. So it takes quite some time. In any case, I will do this, and maybe we can fill the gap because it should still show. Oops, sorry. Let me move here and do the same button press here. So we had covered ApeCoin. Let's close some of this stuff out. We can come back to Meta, by the way. I wanted to show you or explore with you the products available on Meta. While this is loading, I'll do the crazy thing and here, Meta Quest Pro on this is France now. I'm in Europe, so I'm in Germany. So that's the way it would be available to me. So that's 1,800 euros. That's roughly also currently $1,800 instead of 1,500, by the way. That's really a joke to me, but in any case, and you have this, this new virtual classes, available with these nunchucks. I'm tempted to buy it and test it out, hoping that the price will drop. It'll be quite an investment. You see what comes with it. What I'm curious, what applications come with it. I assume the interaction is nice. I assume, and the things you could do is nice. Like features of things you can play, and maybe even use cases for work. It's just I'm not sure what comes with it in terms of, software value, application value, that you get, so to say. So I just want to show this while we're waiting for this stuff to load. That's how much it costs in Europe. So that would be France, because I don't think it's delivered in Germany yet. For the fun, I will check Germany. And that's the old stuff, so you see it's not available. And now just to see how changes can differ globally, if you, this is $1,500 here. So that's $300 $/euro, which is equal right now, uptick to buy it in euro, which I find off. I'll say it nicely like this. So have we had any success here with download? So it appears to be loading quite a bit. Don't like it right now, to be honest. I was hoping this would be a bit faster. I'm guessing it's let's see, we might be able to. I'm going to pull up the task manager on the other screen here just to see if I can get a feeling for. My Brave browser has already 1.8 gigabytes of RAM memory that it's using, so I assume that's where it's coming from and growing. Yeah, so it's sucking up quite, testing my machine here in terms of capacity. So while this is loading, let's play around with Meta. Now this is Meta about Meta technologies. Let's fish around here. So they were mentioning all kinds of code names inside Meta. So Meta Quest, that's the devices. Meta Portal, Meta Ray-Ban Stories. Okay, let's do Meta Portal for the fun of it. That's a device. Okay, this is something just like Amazon has, like, yeah, where instead of your laptop screen, I mean, this is kind of funny. She has this as a screen set up while she has the laptop there. I mean, it's an unnecessary separation, if you ask me. Okay, so this is product similar. You have bring your favorite people to your biggest screen. So I assume this is a beamer, what they would call beamer projector, beamer in German, projector, US language here. And this is just a product that also Amazon has. I guess they're trying to capture some of the market of this. You see here so this is video calling stuff. Oops, sorry for jumping around here. So you see the Quest Pro. Now this is what I'm interested in, apps and games. Let's fish around here. So while we're waiting for Decentraland, I'm going to mute the Decentraland sounds here. So let's scroll here. Yeah, so you see they have these shoot 'em up games. It appears to be. Now the funny thing is, I buy this 1500, and I assume it's compatible. So for the fun of it, we're going to look into a game here, because I want to have the comparison to, like, Call of Duty, and I assume this is something like this based on this graphic. This is a bundle, and yeah, it's has a have to be 16 to be able to play it. It's 10% off, yay, 9%. Now I'd like to see, is it compatible with the new device actually? And I don't get any hint for that. That's already, I don't like that. Am I not reading right? This offer is purchases here. This offer is valid on purchase on Oculus.com. Cannot be combined, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, so I'm already kind of stuck on with this now. Oh, this is Quest. Okay, so this is products pressed quo. So I'm curious what you can play with. I don't know, maybe the Quest 2 is already a good enough experience, and maybe a cheaper version now that the new product is out. Still checking on Decentraland here. Yeah, it takes too long, if you ask me. I wish their clients would be thinner. Sorry, I have to go back to here. So Meta Quest Quo. So I'm going to go to the product. Okay, no, I didn't go to the product. Yeah, it's not available in my region. That's why it says. Yeah. So it showcases the Meta applications here. The Quest Pro applications, and I don't have it available in my region here. Yeah, so it appears that's also I'm gonna go back here and see if I can sort by West, Rift, Go, Gear. I assume these things are compatible. So NFL Pro. That sounds interesting. Yeah, I think I will fish into the area of Meta's offerings in terms of virtual reality. That's just while we're waiting for Decentraland still. Let's fish for a little video here of this game for the fun of it, of NFL Pro area, and look at this trailer here. Sound on. I will turn the sound off not to get any copyright violations here. So it looks like this is the Oculus, the Meta Quest 2 on here. Now, if you can actually, yeah, this is, I mean, this is cool stuff. You know, you have these football type, and you can look left and right, and you're actually inside, snap the ball, step back, and then throw. I mean, the graphics don't look so realistic. Wonder how if you run. Wonder if you're, wonder how far it goes in terms of if you're like the receiver and have received the ball, if you then can steer the receiver. And show it in being in this tight spot in the living room. I'm sure you have to make sure you have enough space there. That looks cute. Multiplayer, by the way. I want to quickly speak about multiplayer. Decentraland there by chance yet? No. Because the Sandbox, for example, does not have any multiplayer interaction. I mean, you're inside with other players at the same time, but there's no, you cannot, join 5 people, cannot join and then run around in one experience and have an interaction or interact with it at the same time. And that's, by the way, a big deficit of a Sandbox, for example, where you don't have any experiences that were actually based on multiplayer. Excuse me. That's a bit of a problem. I may have this up here. Particularly if you're in the GameFi area that Sandbox is, you don't have this, and you don't really have anything as far as I'm concerned, or much. So this was this NFL game that I thought was cute or maybe interesting. And of course, you see this is all about making money. Now, if you look at, I don't know if population, I'm not familiar with the offering of Meta here on the gaming level. You see, they don't list, or maybe they did list. This has this, but it doesn't have a video, so we can't go into this. Yeah, Bone Lab. If you look at the graphics here, it has the, weapons and so forth. Graphics look simple. I've seen a game that looks just like Call of Duty, for example, and it was fairly simple. And I'm guessing, for the fun of it, I'll click on it, but this looks more like a Magic version. It's H6 and higher. This looks more like see here it says what platforms it supports. Meta, Quest Pro is supported here. Let me just look at the video real quick. Yeah, so this is more like a role-playing game type stuff. Now this is cute. I mean, role-playing game then in, with kind of a magic type of touch to it, and then inside you have experiences. That's nice. That's nice. And that's where, if you come together and everybody has their headset, or if you can play this remotely, which I assume, then that's a nice gaming experience. Or it could be a nice gaming experience. So you see the difference, like where this difference on where you have this virtual classes capability and then games and this mixed together. I've not, and I'm not the measure here. I've not. This hasn't naturally invaded my life. I've not seen any of this, from my youngest is 16. I've not seen this float around there where it's like, oh, this guy has this. I don't know anybody in his realm that has an Oculus VR headset. Probably because they're fairly expensive. For the fun of it, let's look at what it costs in my region. Yeah, it's 500. That's not too bad compared to Xbox or so forth. But then you have to have the things on top, and I don't know what that actually connects into. Also, interesting aspect. Then the game is on the PC, or do you need what does the game play on? It's an interesting question here to be answered. This one is still loading. I would argue that's if you want to sell me on Metaverse, and I'm sitting here now and I've been talking extra for a longer period of time now, like roughly 5 minutes plus, and this thing hasn't loaded yet. It's like, come on. Okay, so Decentraland does have an online browser version, but it takes a long time to download. So can we agree on this? I still like to show it, so let's fill a little bit here. I wanted to see. Let's see for this game. Was this the? Yeah, I assume this was this adventure game exactly. Let's see. La 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 da. It's like supported sitting, standing, room scale, touch controllers. It shows which ones. Genre. Yeah, I set this correct. Publisher website release. Okay, but what do you? Okay, now I'm being stupid. Space. By the way, these games, generally speaking, like also if you play PC games, they need a lot of quote unquote a lot of space. And if you see that's computers nowadays, they come with PCIe SSD cards, so solid state hard drives, that have like maybe a terabyte. And you have, so that's 1024 gigabyte. And if you see that a lot of it, is consumed by Windows already, and you have these games needing like 1.2 gig, you're not going to have too many games on there before your computer is actually trashed. And this is already not a whole lot here for this game. I'm trying to figure out, I'm going to be completely stupid about this. What do I play this on? Let's go to the website and fish for this game. Now for VR and PC. Now when they say VR, wishlist for PlayStation now. Okay, so you could in the future play it on the PlayStation because you need a device that you can do it. Yeah, so this is coming for PlayStation and PlayStation VR 2. And then you actually use the PlayStation VR set. Also, by the way, a competitor PlayStation VR. And that's what, by the way, now you have nice experiences that people will enjoy, with Iron Man here in the picture, for example. Now you have Sony here with PlayStation VR. That's a direct competitor, as far as I'm concerned, to Facebook, especially in terms of the experiences, because they're used to creating these game experiences on there. And now you have this headset, looks a bit slimmer. I haven't seen the reviews. Just, yeah, Blockbuster Adventures. You have the PlayStation camera. Yeah. Request your free PlayStation camera adapter now. So we have adapters with this that you can put on top. So that's for the fun of it. let's remember those $510 euros for MetaQuest 2 VR classes, and let's do Sony PlayStation VR. And this is just the camera and the headset. Yeah, so, and this is not any, what do they call them there? Nunchucks. Yeah, this might be a complete set. Here you have a pack. Yeah, with games. So like 400, I get actually games with it. Some games, golf, Astro Bot, Blood and Truth, whatever that is, and VR Worlds. And in terms of equipment, it doesn't list directly. Here in the package it shows. So it's just also the camera and the thing, and you need on top you need the PlayStation. Yeah. So in terms of gaming experiences, they're definitely competitor. I'm curious how those would compare, and I'm curious, how these worlds compare. So we're going to go to PlayStation VR games here and get some graphics view. Now, if I look at these graphics now, you tell me, compare this to Sandbox. Yeah. And you tell me, like, okay, Iron Man flying there. And you have to be careful with trailers because sometimes, it's video sequences they have in the game and not the real game experiences. I think we saw this game being part of the package there. Yeah, so this is the competition already available, not even called Metaverse from the GameFi perspective, with Metaverse-like experiences. And that's what, I would argue, why isn't Facebook buying companies like this? Okay, they're not going to buy Sony that easily, or they're not going to buy Microsoft products because they're, I'm guessing, Xbox, VR. Let's see what they have. Yeah, so this is the US website right now. So you see they also have this available, of course, quote unquote. And you have to see the whole set here, which is super expensive. HoloLens. I could do a whole video on doing this now. So you see, we stumble from Metaverse type or Metaverse buzzword experiences like Meta itself, Sandbox, Decentraland, still loading in the background here. If I turn on my Xbox in my classes, I'm done. But I would still like to show Decentraland if it ever pops up here. If not, I'll do a separate video on it. So we came from all this type of stuff, and ended up in looking at gaming products in a way, and gaming experiences that have these metaverse experiences already inside of them. And there there's content creators already that create much, and it's an industry, big money on these games. And you see the big companies, Microsoft, Sony for the gaming platform of it. And for the fun of it, I will do the VR and see if there's any VR solution actually available. There's a VR package, and this is PlayStation. Yeah. So there you have a PlayStation 4 by Activision Blizzard, which is one of the big gaming companies, and here you see on the Sony platform. Now, if you have this type of experiences, and I'm not promoting, by the way, these violent games as a standard for greatness or anything, it's just the virtual experience inside of these is way ahead of the competition in terms of Meta, for example. Now, I'm just about to give up on Decentraland loading here in time, so let that load while I kind of go back to my office screen here and do a free ramble. So the topic was the Metaverse. Is it a waste of money? Is it the future? I think with these products like Sandbox, Decentraland, I didn't even show Axie Infinity. Sorry for stuttering here. I find it a complicated name too. to use. Axie Infinity, I'm sorry, that's what I was fishing for. Let's let me actually go to Axie Infinity and show this real quick because I skipped out on that. So Axie Infinity is also a metaverse. It's in the GameFi, actually. I would not call it metaverse. Where blockchain based, so it's blockchain technology below it, and you have these characters that you can then boost similar to Pokemon and have battles, and you can actually earn their token, and then you monetize your gaming experience. Very simply put, not sure what I can show without going inside. They have also a virtual land that you can buy. AXS is the token. Not sure. Yeah, so 3.6 billion traded on our in-house marketplace. You see, it's a whole, creating communities in a virtual world, creating funny money out of thin air, where people believe in it and use it. It's, I kind of think, if I zoom out here, you see the graphics are not real. This is like a Pokemon comic style stuff. You have your, in a way, like, the games that the kiddos play, were Battle Royale. I was almost slipped my mind. Where on Battle Royale you also have these fights, on a battleground, and here it's against each other, and you can create your character, boost them, and with qualities and so forth. And that's the idea here behind it. It's a gaming experience. I haven't been inside, I think, for a long time, maybe a year or two ago, or even more. It's this. They create these communities where people go in, and if they like it, the whole, being able to make money, so to say, by being, monetizing your token. You've seen how much tokens can grow in value. That makes it maybe interesting. I find the whole battle idea, okay, if kids like it or people like it, because of the features inside, and it's fun, like maybe Battle Royale or something. Okay. But it's a gaming area where they have caught traction. I can't judge more. I would have to go inside and actually play it. If we click on play now, you'll see that you have to create a wallet. Also in terms of user experiences, you are automatically in this crypto area where they, you need a Ronin wallet. You get the Axie is your little character. Then you create an account, and I'm guessing you have to be 18, so forget about making money with teens. It's all above that. And then I'm questioning whether this is actually, a community snowball system playing with itself, and the people who can spend the most time on it and have been in there for a while make the most money. So if I be a little bit judgmental about it. So I'm assuming Decentraland hasn't loaded. I'm going to give up on this and stop this load mechanism. And go back to this view and talk a bit here at the end of the stream. Yeah, so my point of this was to introduce some of the metaverse scenarios there. You saw that I went from what I would call high, I don't know what I should call it, buzzword metaverse solutions to GameFi gaming solutions that are currently available already, that are competitors to new metaverses are rising there. Is it a waste of money? I think Meta, if I would judge from what I know, Meta is spending a huge amount of money on this. Given that there's already versions of real worlds available. And you've seen some of the Sony, Xbox/Microsoft things flashing by here. These gaming experiences are much more real and way more advanced now. Okay, they don't have this collaboration topic inside of them, but they have avatars going inside, being able to interact. So, if you would go out to these software companies that create these games, I'm sure they would be able to create some of the interaction stuff that they have. So I think Facebook or Meta will probably end up creating something that's going to be available, and they will be in the market, and they might even capture a big chunk of the market share in terms of collaboration on the corporate side. So, corporate solutions, so to say. So enhance things like Zoom or the video platforms in a way. Thing is, companies will have to spend more, and then Facebook has to make the point why spending money on their VR headsets for employees will make the difference in collaboration. I think that's a difficult sale to make. I do think the technology will move on and move forward, and it will be part of the future. There will be metaverse experiences where I can go with glasses and holograms inside to a bank, for example, or even shopping. I put my headset on, I flip around, and instead of sitting at my desk and looking at my laptop, the experience could be so inclusive that, I flip through it, and then I can, what I do on the laptop to search, for example, on Amazon, I could do, in my virtual classes, and that would be then my shopping experience, so to say. Or information, or watching TV. I think I have not had a headset on like this to see what the visual is and if it's comfortable to watch a video like this for 2 hours. Not talking about health aspects, about having this so close and so forth. I wonder how much studies are on this already existing. So I do think it's going to stick around. I wonder how much money was not wasted, but if the investments of Meta was smart. Some of the experiences now existing, like Sandbox, I find it's just, as a GameFi metaverse environment, it's weak. I would not, if I had to pay for it, I would not pay a dime for it. The only reason from my view, that they attract folks is because there's this whole buzz where you can win sand tokens that used to be worth, $5, $8, and now are worth below $1. 70, 80 cents, dollar cents right now. It's some of the hype that they created. They have some big names joining course. It's not very interesting. Decentraland, I think it's a bit better in terms of, social interactions. I would like to show on this. I will probably do a separate video on this. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on this. Other things like, communities like Bored Ape Yacht Club and stuff like this, I'm not for this hype stuff where you have these communities that don't have any actual value per se inside of them. I do see the crossover to be interesting. I'll be curious to see the experiences for the new Meta Pro classes, so to say, the VR classes, and compared to others. I think myself, I will start looking into where I can get a hold of some of these VR experiences to really speak more intelligent about how it feels and looks like. I don't think it has caught on yet. And I think for some of the reasons is maybe also in terms of how much it costs and what experiences are there and how real they are, so to say. So I think the future is here. A lot of stuff is already available, and we'll see upgrades to the future going forward. I do think it'll change into where we are more used to VR classes, holograms, and classes that we were being available. I do think it'll take more time for it to manifest, so to say. But it'll be coming soon, and also because some of the technology is based on new technology. It'll be a logarithmic growth curve in terms of flooding out. I think it'll remain to be seen what use cases people will accept. If I judge now, I don't have the numbers in terms of items sold on VR from 5 years ago to now, and then the projection going forward. If the growth is there and people will buy it, as I will speak for myself and what I'm judging, my kids like, so to say, and what I see, I think kids and people would play with this if we're talking gaming experiences. And it's a matter of can I make the device available? If it costs like 400 euros, dollars, that's okay-ish, so to say. It'll be about money. That's my point. About if this is available, because it's on top, and then what do you get for it, yeah. So Crisscross brought the platforms. Hope you enjoyed this live stream here. I'll do my best to maybe create some shorts of it to make it more easier to digest. Subscribe to the channel. Give me a like. It'll help YouTube with the algorithms, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new live feeds, respectively, YouTube videos or shorts that I create. And hope to see you in the next live feed and on the